In a world dominated by instant gratification, patience can often feel like a relic from another time. We are used to fast food, high-speed internet, and immediate responses, fostering an expectation that everything should happen according to our schedules and plans. However, true patience transcends mere waiting. It embodies resilience, persistence, and a profound faith in something greater than ourselves. It means holding on to hope when situations seem bleak and surrendering our desires to a higher purpose. Consider the wisdom in Psalm 37:7, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes." This verse encourages us to trust in divine timing, much like a farmer who patiently waits for his crops to grow, depending on the early and late rains. Patience is not a passive state, but an active choice to trust in the unseen and the unknown. It challenges us deeply, testing our resolve when we encounter obstacles, when our prayers seem unanswered, and when time seems to be running out. In these moments, doubt can creep in, tempting us to take control and force outcomes. However, rushing ahead of divine timing often leads to frustration and disappointment. Embracing patience, on the other hand, allows us to develop resilience and strength of character. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 states, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven." This verse highlights the belief that every moment, including those of waiting, has its place and purpose. Patience involves more than just waiting. It is about cultivating a mindset of trust and surrender. It means believing that even when things are not going according to our plans, there is a greater plan at work. This belief helps us endure and find peace, knowing that everything unfolds in its perfect time. Patience is also an act of faith, a demonstration of our trust in God's wisdom and timing. It requires us to relinquish our need for control and allow ourselves to be guided by a higher power. As we cultivate patience, we learn to appreciate the journey rather than just the destination. We grow in understanding and compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Patience teaches us to listen more, to reflect more deeply, and to appreciate the beauty in each moment. It helps us to see that the waiting periods in our lives are not empty or wasted, but are rich with potential for growth and discovery. In a society that prizes speed and efficiency, patience stands as a counter-cultural virtue. It reminds us that not everything valuable can be rushed. Some of the most beautiful things in life, like personal growth, meaningful relationships, and spiritual depth, take time to develop. By practicing patience, we align ourselves with the natural rhythms of life and open ourselves to the fullness of God's plan. As we navigate our lives, let us embrace patience as a vital component of our spiritual journey. Let us trust that every season, every moment of waiting, is part of a greater tapestry being woven by the Master Weaver. In doing so, we will find peace, joy, and fulfillment beyond what we could ever imagine. The story of Abraham and Sarah is a powerful example of patience, faith, and the challenges that come with waiting on God's promises. God promised Abraham and Sarah a child, a promise that seemed impossible as they aged without seeing it fulfilled. Their journey was marked by doubt and impatience, leading them to take matters into their own hands. This decision brought about complications and heartache, particularly through the birth of Ishmael with Hagar, Sarah's maidservant. Despite these missteps and moments of faltering faith, God's promise was eventually fulfilled in his perfect timing with the birth of Isaac. This narrative teaches us that waiting, though often difficult, is an integral part of the journey toward receiving what has been promised. In the midst of waiting, we often grapple with inner turmoil. The pain of unfulfilled dreams, the anguish of delayed answers, and the longing for resolution can weigh heavily on our hearts. Yet these very moments of waiting are fertile ground for growth and transformation. It's in these seasons of waiting that our character is refined, our faith deepened, and our resilience strengthened. As Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychologist, profoundly stated, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This statement encapsulates the essence of patience. It requires us to look inward, confront our fears, and cultivate a deeper trust in the process. Patience calls us to embrace the present moment, no matter how uncomfortable, and to find peace in the midst of uncertainty. The story of Abraham and Sarah reminds us that God's timing is not our timing. While they faced significant challenges and even stumbled in their faith, the fulfillment of God's promise came at the appointed time, bringing joy and fulfillment beyond their expectations. This teaches us that our waiting is not in vain and that God's plans, though they may seem delayed, are always perfectly timed and purposeful. In these challenging times of waiting, let us hold on to the promise in Isaiah 40:31, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, they will soar on wings, like eagles they will run, and not grow weary, they will walk, and not faint." This verse reassures us that patience is not about idle waiting but about active hope and trust in a higher plan. It encourages us to see waiting not as a passive state, but as a dynamic process where we are actively engaging with our faith and trusting in God's perfect timing. As we navigate our own seasons of waiting, may we draw inspiration from Abraham and Sarah's story, remembering that even when circumstances seem bleak, God's promises are true and His timing is perfect. Let us use these times to strengthen our faith, develop our character, and grow closer to God. Embrace the waiting as a sacred space where transformation occurs and where the roots of faith grow deep and strong. As we navigate our own seasons of waiting, it's important to remember that we are not alone in our struggles. The collective human experience is filled with stories of patience and perseverance. Each waiting period offers an opportunity for growth, for refining our character, and for preparing ourselves for the blessings that lie ahead. Patience is not merely a passive state, it is a dynamic force nurtured through life's trials. Consider the roots of a tree, growing unseen beneath the soil. While this growth is invisible, it is crucial, as it prepares the tree to stand strong against storms. Similarly, in our lives, unseen transformations occur, strengthening our character, deepening our resilience, and fostering our spiritual growth. Embrace these waiting periods, for they are as essential as the seasons of visible progress. They remind us that the most significant changes often happen beneath the surface, out of sight but not out of reach. We all harbor dreams, face challenges we long to overcome, and yearn for companionship. Yet when the wait stretches on, it's easy to grow impatient and wonder, when will my time come? The extended waiting isn't due to inactivity, rather, it's a sign that preparation is still underway. Even when we feel ready, there may be unseen areas where growth is needed. This period is about maturing, evolving, and gathering the experiences necessary for the future. Imagine a caterpillar inside a chrysalis. Though it might seem still, it is undergoing a profound transformation. The chrysalis is a time of preparation for the caterpillar, allowing it to develop into a butterfly. This transformation is not visible from the outside, but it is essential for the caterpillar's next stage of life. Similarly, our waiting periods can be times of deep internal growth and preparation. These are times when we may not see the immediate results of our efforts, but important work is being done within us. This work can include building our resilience, strengthening our faith, and refining our understanding of our purpose. The waiting allows us to become more attuned to our inner selves and to develop the qualities needed for the next chapter of our lives. Trusting in life's seasons and timing involves recognizing that there is a season for everything. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, to everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. This wisdom teaches us to trust in the process, knowing that everything unfolds at the right time. It encourages us to find peace in the present moment, understanding that even in waiting, we are moving towards a greater purpose. As we move through these seasons, let us embrace the lessons they bring. The waiting times are not void but are rich with potential for growth and transformation. They are opportunities to deepen our patience, strengthen our character, and build our trust in the divine timing of our lives. These periods challenge us to look inward, to nurture our inner life, and to prepare for the fulfillment of our dreams and desires. In embracing these waiting periods, we acknowledge that our journey is not just about reaching a destination, but also about the growth and transformation that occurs along the way. This perspective allows us to view our waiting periods not as obstacles, but as essential parts of our journey, filled with lessons and opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Let us therefore find joy and peace in the process, trusting that every moment, every season has its purpose and place. The transformations we undergo during these times prepare us for the blessings and challenges that lie ahead. Embrace the waiting, trust in life's seasons, and believe in the beautiful plan unfolding in your life. In the whirlwind of life, finding peace can often feel elusive. Psalm 46:10 offers profound guidance. Be still And know that I am God. This verse urges us to quiet our hearts and minds, creating space to recognize the higher power at work in our lives. This stillness is not just about physical quiet, it's about finding an inner calm that allows us to connect with a peace that surpasses understanding, shielding us from fear and doubt. Philippians 4:6-7 further reassures you as do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. True peace does not come from controlling every aspect of our lives, but from releasing our worries and trusting in a greater plan. Reflecting on my own life, I recall a time of personal loss that left me feeling hopeless. It was through prayer and trust that I found unexpected strength and comfort. This period of waiting taught me the invaluable lesson of surrendering control and embracing faith. In today's world, filled with uncertainty, finding peace in divine timing can be particularly challenging. We often wrestle with impatience and fear. Yet, true peace emerges when we relinquish our need for control and place our trust in a higher purpose. As we wait with grace and expectancy, our faith grows stronger, making us more receptive to the blessings that lie ahead. The story of Job, who lost everything yet remained faithful, is a powerful reminder that suffering can lead to profound growth and transformation. Job 42:10 tells us, "The Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before." Job's journey teaches us to view waiting periods not as wasted time but as essential steps in our spiritual journey. These moments are opportunities for deep introspection, growth, and preparation for greater things. To find peace in divine timing, we must release our fears and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Every delay is not a denial but a divine setup for something greater. It's a call to deepen our faith and to cultivate patience. Waiting with an open heart and a spirit of gratitude deepens our connection with the divine, ensuring that we are guided and protected throughout our journey. Through this process, we come to understand that peace is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of trust in the divine. It's about being vulnerable, acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and finding comfort in the journey itself. Peace in divine timing means embracing the present moment with all its uncertainties and imperfections. It's about trusting that there is a higher wisdom at play, one that sees the bigger picture and knows what is best for us, even when we cannot see it ourselves. This peace is a quiet confidence, a steadfast assurance that we are not alone, that we are cared for, and that everything will work out in its perfect time. In practice, finding this peace involves daily acts of surrender. It might mean setting aside moments each day for prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection. It could be expressing gratitude for the small blessings we experience, even amidst struggles. It also involves seeking support from others, sharing our burdens, and finding strength in community. As we open ourselves up to this peace, we allow it to fill us, guiding us through life's uncertainties with grace and courage. As we prepare our hearts to receive life's blessings, it's essential to understand that divine timing is always perfect. Let us journey together towards tranquility, embracing the lessons and growth that come with waiting and trusting in the perfect timing of a higher plan. Finding peace and stillness in this process allows us to remember that we are never alone and that our path is being crafted with love and purpose. Consider the wisdom of Proverbs 16:9. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Life often takes unexpected turns, and during those moments of doubt and waiting, it's easy to feel lost and question the direction we're headed. We lay out our strategies and envision our futures, but ultimately it is the divine plan that shapes our path. This realization can be both humbling and comforting, as it reassures us that there is a greater force at work, ensuring that everything falls into place according to a perfect design, even when we don't fully understand it. Reflecting on the story of Joseph provides a profound example of how divine plans unfold. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, Joseph endured years of hardship and uncertainty, including wrongful imprisonment and separation from his family. Despite these adversities, Joseph remained steadfast and faithful. His story culminates in a powerful revelation found in Genesis 50:20, where Joseph tells his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This statement encapsulates the essence of embracing the divine plan, showing that even in our darkest times, there is a purpose behind our trials and a divine plan is being woven. Joseph's journey teaches us that what may seem like setbacks or misfortunes are often parts of a larger narrative that we cannot yet see. His faith and resilience during periods of suffering ultimately positioned him to save many lives, including those of his own family. This story encourages us to trust that our experiences, no matter how challenging, are part of a greater plan designed for our ultimate good. Embracing the divine plan means acknowledging that we are not always in control and that our understanding of life's events is limited. It's about surrendering our need for control and trusting that a higher power is guiding our steps. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of faith. It allows us to move forward with peace and confidence, knowing that our lives are part of a beautiful, intricate design that is unfolding exactly as it should. In practical terms, embracing the divine plan involves regular reflection and prayer, seeking alignment with God's will rather than solely pursuing our own desires. It means being open to change and willing to let go of plans that may no longer serve us. This openness creates space for new opportunities and blessings that we might not have imagined. Often the divine plan involves elements that are beyond our immediate understanding. Like Joseph, we may not see the full picture until much later. However, trusting in the divine plan encourages us to find peace in the unseen workings of life. It reassures us that there is a greater purpose at play, even if it's not immediately apparent. This perspective helps us to navigate life's challenges with grace, patience, and a sense of purpose. In embracing the divine plan, we are reminded that our lives are not random or without meaning. Each experience, whether joyous or challenging, contributes to the grand tapestry of our existence. This understanding helps us to approach life with a sense of calm and acceptance, knowing that we are guided by a loving and purposeful force. Trusting in the divine plan involves surrendering our need for control and embracing a higher wisdom. Psalm 46:10 reminds us to be still and know that I am God in a world filled with noise and chaos. Taking a moment to be still can be profoundly transformative. It is in this stillness that we can hear the whispers of divine guidance, feel the assurance of a greater presence, and find the courage to move forward with faith. This trust in the divine plan does not equate to passive resignation, rather, it calls for active faith and resilience. The story of Job illustrates this beautifully. Despite losing everything, Job refused to curse his fate, maintaining his faith in the midst of unimaginable trials. In Job 23:10, he declares, "But he knows the way that I take when he has tested me. I will come forth as gold." This resilience and unwavering faith are what refine us, preparing us for the blessings that await. Job's journey shows us that enduring faith, even when life seems to be falling apart, can lead to a profound transformation and ultimate redemption. In practical terms, embracing the divine plan involves a daily commitment to align our will with a higher purpose. It means actively seeking guidance through prayer, meditation, and reflection. These practices help us to tune into the divine will and to make decisions that resonate with integrity and compassion. Trusting in the divine plan requires us to believe that the path we are on, though it may be fraught with challenges, is leading us towards a greater good. Isaiah 55:8-9 offers a profound perspective. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." These verses remind us of the vastness of divine wisdom compared to our limited understanding. This humility in acknowledging our limited perspective helps us surrender to a higher wisdom, allowing ourselves to be guided towards our true purpose. Surrendering to the divine plan involves letting go of our anxieties and trusting that there is a higher wisdom at work. This surrender is not about giving up, it's about actively engaging in our lives with a sense of peace and trust. It means recognizing that while we can plan and prepare, the ultimate course of our lives is shaped by forces beyond our control. This realization can be both humbling and liberating, freeing us from the constant pressure to control every outcome. By embracing the divine plan, we learn to find peace in the journey itself, rather than in the destination. It teaches us to value the process of growth and learning, knowing that each experience, whether joyous or challenging, contributes to our spiritual development. This approach encourages us to live in the present moment, appreciating the lessons and blessings that each day brings. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us hold fast to the wisdom and comfort found in trusting the divine plan. By surrendering our fears and anxieties and embracing the guidance of a higher wisdom, we open ourselves to the fullness of life's experiences. This journey requires us to cultivate a deep and resilient faith, to be still and listen for the whispers of guidance, and to trust that every step is leading us towards our true purpose. May we find strength and peace in this journey, knowing that we are guided by a loving and wise presence. Let us walk together in faith and trust, embracing the divine plan with open hearts and open minds.